Alright, so today we'll be talking about properties of rhombi, properties of rectangles, and properties of squares. Now, rhombi is just rhombuses, plural, because when you get Latin words and you pluralize them, you just add some i's at the end, apparently. Okay, so properties of rhombi. Okay, properties of rhombi, they are, well, let's get back to using lines. Okay, they are parallelograms where all the sides are the same. Okay, so that's all opposite sides, all sides are congruent. So that's the difference, big difference there. So all sides are congruent. Okay, so that one's pretty simple. Now in a rectangle, all angles are congruent. Okay, it has to be quadrilateral, obviously. And obviously we are talking about 90 degrees angles. Okay. Alright, so something pretty simple. Okay. Now obviously the other properties still exist, you know, of parallelograms and everything. Okay, we will talk about the differences between a parallelogram and all these shapes. Now, let's say a rhombus and a rectangle had a baby. Okay, what kind of baby would that be? That would be what we call today the square. Okay, so all sides, and it's almost like it's the regular quadrilateral that you always dreamed of. Okay, so all sides and angles are congruent. Okay, now we do need to talk about the nature of their diagonals, because that's where some big differences come into play. Okay, so for example, in a rhombus, it is a parallelogram, so it does cut it in half. Okay, so that one's pretty simple. But also, here's an interesting fact: it will intersect it, and it will be perpendicular to each other. So they will bisect, and they're perpendicular bisectors of each other. Okay, now inside of a rectangle, they are not perpendicular bisectors. They are still bisectors, but they're going to be equal. So all of the diagonals will be equal in here. They do bisect each other still. Alright, and since a square is like the baby of a rectangle and a rhombus, it does perpendicularly bisect each other, and it does have diagonals that are equal. Now obviously, since we're dealing with different side lengths, you know, we need to work out a little bit some measurements here. There we go. Okay, so you won't be confused when you look at this later. Okay, but all sides and angles are congruent, and just everything works out perfectly in here. Okay. Oh, also, inside of a rhombus, the diagonals do angle bisect each other as well, so these will be cut into even parts. These as well, 1, 2, you know, so that you're dealing with even angles. Okay. Now this one, not so much. This one, yes. These are going to be cut in angles of 45. Okay, and that's helpful when working with next semester when we're dealing with squares and these things called special right triangles. Okay. Alright, so all these measurements are in here just to be able to show you what the attributes of rhombi, rectangles, and squares are. Okay, nothing really more to add to it. These are just special types of quadrilaterals, which are also parallelograms, and they're also their special properties that differentiate them from all other parallelograms. Okay, that's it for today. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.